the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Logan, and I'm here bringing y'all this review to this newest Black Thought album, Streams of Thought 3, Cain and Abel. Now, for those of you who don't know who Black Thought is, are you 12? Black Thought is the biggest rapper out of the Roots. I don't know who the Roots are, I hope. Philadelphia, a bunch of classic records coming from them. Of course, one of the best and biggest groups in hip-hop of all time. And Black Thought is a top 20, some could even argue top 10 rapper of all time. He has some great bars, great flows. He's on some classic albums with the group. He's got his own group of solid solo albums in this trilogy of Streams of Thought. Now, the first and second Streams of Thought came out in 2018, and they were both very solid. The first one being relatively short. I think it was like 6 to 8 tracks long, around 20-ish minutes, and it was very solid. It was made with, I believe, Ninth Wonder. Then the second one came around. I didn't care for it as much. It was a bit longer. Still really good, though. They were about on the same level. And then this one came about. So we all should know who Black Thought is. Now, this one should have come out a month or two ago, but it was pushed back after the death of Malik B, one of the former rappers of the Roots. Rest in peace. I appreciate the fact that he pushed this back, but I am so glad that it finally came out. So let's go ahead and get into it with the pros. The pros, first of all, being Black Thought. I mean, his lyricism is always amazing. He's pulling out words that you may have never heard before and finding a way to rhyme them, finding a way to make them make sense within the point of the rap, point of the song. It's the way that he pieces sentences together in his bars and makes it make sense, makes it paint a story, paint a picture for you. It's beautiful, and again, it's why he's one of the best rappers ever. His flow, he's always on point. He doesn't have the biggest variety of flows per se, but his flow is always on point, always matches the beat. He can go on basically any beat. I've heard him over multiple beats. He's usually best over darker, more ominous beats, as you'll see on this record. But his flow can always match wherever he's going. The beats, again, just like I said, he chose a lot of beats that fit his repertoire. Not that he can't rap over anything, like I said, he can, but he is best over darker, ominous beats, and there are quite a few of those on here. And again, he's a top 20 rapper of all time. That's hardly arguable. Again, could be top 10. I think I have him sitting at 11th right now. He might have snuck into the top 10 by this point, though. I don't know. I should probably go back and look at that list and see if there's any shuffling around to do. The features, he chose a lot of good features, as I'll mention. Well, 2 songs really had features on them worth note, but they had some good features on there, let's just say that. And the topics he touches on, I mean, he's touching on life, he's touching on, of course, racism as it fits today. He touches on coronavirus a little bit. Just a bunch of different, deeper topics that he sounds very educated about anyways. The cons, it's not as concise as Streams of Thought 1, and not even as concise as Streams of Thought 2. 1, of course, being really short, really straight to the point. 2 being, this one being about the same length. I know 2 was around 30 minutes. This one is 13 songs and 35 minutes, so they're close to the same length. So it's more comparable to 2. I think I prefer this one over 2. They're pretty close. Again, all 3 of these are really close in quality. So, but again, this one just kind of touches on a couple more topics than the other 2 do. Although I think it is a little bit more focused at the same time, because the other one seemed to be more just like rapping, bars. Not that he's not saying stuff, he definitely is, but this one seems more focused on touching on conscious, political, social, economical topics. Racism, stuff like that, of course. That being said, if you don't like conscious rap, you're going to hate this. I mean, Black Thought, the Roots, they are, excuse the pun, rooted in talking about stuff like that. talking about racism, talking about politics, talking about pop culture, basically, just any of that stuff. And if you don't enjoy if you don't enjoy conscious rap, if you don't enjoy learning while you're listening, if you just want to sit back, relax, and like you're listening to generic trap music. Obviously, some trap music has a point, but I'm saying the Kodak Blacks of the world, the Gunnas of the world, the Little Babies outside of that one song. This is not for you. Just saying. But again, a lot of people must like him because he is one of the greatest of all time. I'm one of those people, of course. The standouts for this album, I'm just going to name 2 tracks because I could go through all the tracks and list them, but I'm just going to name the 2 that had notable features on them. First one being Good Morning. This was one of the singles for this album. It is a Swizz Beatz produced track featuring Pusha T and Killer Mike. Swizz Beatz has a little bit of a verse. You know how Swizz is. He has to say something every time. He's like DJ Khaled, except he's actually good and actually has a point to what he's saying. He's not always just we the best music, But this song got me really hyped for this album. I mean, it has a classic 2000s Swizz sound to it. It's got some amazing bars by, and I'm going to say this, 3 legends. Of course, Black Thought, we've already established he's a legend. Pusha T, if he's not in my top 25 of all time, he's in my top 30, top 40. Again, some reshuffling to do with that list, probably, but he's right up there. I know he was in my honorable mentions if he wasn't right there at the end. And then Killer Mike, he might not be in my top 50. He could probably sneak in the top 50. It's close, probably, but he's still a legend, A lot of great bars, and a really good beat, solid track. And then Stake'em, featuring Schoolboy Q. Schoolboy Q's given us 2 features in 2 weeks, so, maybe another album. I doubt it because of how TDE's rollout works. They usually do 1 artist at a time, except for Absol or Kendrick or Zay. Actually, so yeah, I guess it's possible in that case. That just leaves like J-Rock and Q, and yeah, SZA kind of disappears. Yeah. Tangent. Anyways, this has an extremely dark beat. It intros with the Dave Chappelle excerpt that I heard from one of his stand-ups. It's on Netflix. I can't remember which one because he has like 5 on there. But it's a joke. You know how Dave Chappelle does social commentary and then ends it with a joke to make light of social issues. Well, he's talking about slavery. It's the whole joke where he says, "Don't forget what I am. I'm a black man. Don't forget how I got here." On the bottom of slave boats. Talking about how, of course, the disgrace of slavery, and 400 years later, things are still bad. But of course, he ends that making light of it by saying, "And over all this time, 400 years, it took us this long to figure out that white people's issue, that white people's weakness was kneeling during the national anthem." Of course, funny joke, but it sets up the scene to have a racial overtone, and then it kicks in with this dark beat with a nice, beautiful, and ominous vocal sample. Saying "Tears for the City." And of course, this beat complements both artists well because both artists perform well over dark beats. I already said that about Black Thought and Schoolboy. Man, y'all know how Schoolboy does. I was just talking about him on the Reason review, and he kills these darker, more gritty beats. And man, this one was made just for him. So this one complements both very well. Love that track. I forgot I was going to mention one more song, actually. Fuel doesn't have any features on it, but this may be the best beat on the album. Okay, actually, no. I was talking about the wrong beat. Stake'em does not have that Tears for the City beat. That is Fuel. That is my apologies. Go back on that. Either way, Stake'em does have a great beat. Really dark. This one is really dark as well. Again, vocal sample that it starts out with and touches on a lot of deeper topics. And it is the last official song on the album. There's a interlude outro after. But man, beautiful way to bookend a really good album. If I'm going to talk about the conclusions, I mean, I don't really have much to say. It's a very solid album that talks on a lot of stuff. I feel like I've already said everything that I can. It's going to be great for conscious rap fans. If you don't enjoy that, you're not going to be here for it. Obviously, Thought is one of the GOATs, greatest of all time. I'm not saying he's number one, but he's up there. He's top 10, top 20. And this continues to solidify that. He has yet to drop, I'm going to say, out of his 3 Streams of Thought records, none of them have been classics. None of them will be considered classics by a vast majority of rap fans. However, every single one of them should be remembered to a degree and should be agreed upon as being really good. That being said, I'm going to wrap this up with an official rating of a solid 8 out of 10. It's the exact same rating I gave the other 2, whether I got a review out for them or not. I think they came out before I started doing reviews. Regardless, same rating I gave the other 2. I feel like this one is just on par with them. I might prefer this one over the second one. Might just less than the first one. I don't know. Kind of, you could shuffle them around either way. This might be the best one. I'd see it going either way. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure to hit the like button, comment, sub, listen to this album. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you want me to check out next. Hit the bell next to my name for notifications for when I post. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next time.